What if I told you that the fastest way to change someone's mind is to stop trying to change it? Most people believe persuasion is about being louder, smarter, or more logical. They think that if they just present the right facts, the other person will eventually give in. But psychology shows the opposite. When people feel pushed, they resist. When they feel attacked, they defend. And the harder you argue, the deeper they lock themselves into their original belief. Yet every single day, some people quietly influence opinions, decisions, and behavior. They do it without arguments, without pressure, and without manipulation. They don't convince, they guide. In this video, you'll learn 6 psychological rules that can genuinely change someone's mind, ethically, subtly, and effectively. Rule number 1. Make them feel safe first. The human brain has one priority above all else: safety. Before logic, before curiosity, before openness, there is safety. When someone feels emotionally threatened, their brain shifts into defense mode. In that state, reasoning shuts down, listening disappears. Even intelligent people become rigid. This is why most arguments fail. The moment your tone sharpens, the moment you say "you're wrong," or the moment someone senses judgment, their mind closes. If you want to change someone's mind, your first goal is not persuasion, it's lowering their defenses. Speak calmly, use non-threatening language, be genuinely curious. Instead of saying, "You don't understand this," say, "That's interesting. How did you come to that conclusion?" Instead of saying, "That makes no sense," say, "I can see why it looks that way." Safety creates openness, and openness is the door to influence. Rule number 2. Never attack their identity. People don't just defend ideas, they defend who they are. When a belief becomes tied to someone's identity, challenging that belief feels like a personal attack, and the mind will protect identity at all costs, even against logic. That's why facts often fail. If someone believes they are a smart person and your argument implies they are wrong, their brain hears something very different. It hears, "You are not smart." Instant resistance. To change someone's mind, you must separate the belief from the person. Say things like, "A lot of intelligent people think this," or "It's easy to believe that given how it's usually presented," or even, "I used to think the same way." When identity feels safe, beliefs become flexible. Rule number 3. Ask questions that make them think. The strongest persuasion does not come from answers, it comes from questions. When you tell someone they're wrong, they argue. When you ask the right question, they reflect. This is called self-persuasion, and it's far more powerful than external persuasion. Instead of saying, "That belief is flawed," ask, "What would make you change your mind about this?" Instead of saying, "Here's why that's incorrect," ask, "How confident are you in that belief on a scale from 1 to 10? Questions bypass resistance. They invite the mind to explore rather than defend. And when someone reaches a conclusion on their own, it feels true. Rule number 4. Agree first, then redirect. This is one of the most counterintuitive persuasion techniques. Agreement lowers defenses, opposition raises them. This doesn't mean fake agreement or lying. It means acknowledging what makes sense in their perspective. You might say, "Yes, personal responsibility does matter," or "Yes, freedom of choice is important," or "Yes, experience plays a role." Then, and only then, you gently introduce a new angle. You say, and at the same time, or another way to look at it is, or what's interesting is, people don't resist ideas, they resist opposition. Rule number 5. Use stories, not statistics. Facts inform, but stories persuade. The human brain evolved around stories. When we hear statistics, analytical parts activate. When we hear stories, empathy and emotion come online. A story allows someone to experience a different perspective without feeling forced. Instead of listing data, you say, "I once met someone who believed exactly that," or "Let me tell you about a situation where this played out differently." Stories reduce resistance because they don't feel like arguments. Rule number 6. Let time do the work. This is the rule most people ignore. You don't change minds instantly, you plant seeds. Real belief change happens later when someone revisits an idea privately without pressure. Your goal is not to win the conversation today, it's to create a thought that lingers. A question, a new perspective, a small doubt. That's enough. People often come back days or weeks later believing the idea was theirs all along, and that's when real change happens. Changing someone's mind is not about dominance, it's about respect, curiosity, and patience. When you stop trying to force belief, influence becomes natural. Safety opens minds. Identity must be protected. Questions outperform arguments. Agreement reduces resistance. Stories persuade better than facts. And time completes the process. If even one of these ideas stays with you, your conversations will never be the same. Not louder, not more aggressive, just more effective.